And then like I thought about like, do I hold a grudge against any of these people? And like literally I really don't. Like I'll sit around and call them losers all day, like from the past. But at the same time, there's a part of me that like really genuinely hopes that like they've settled down now, they've had children, like they having a good life, they make eggs.
Bro, you're
you know
such
what I mean?
stereotypical man right now
Like,
that it pisses me off a little bit, but like I'm also just glad you're there. I'm just glad you're there, bro.
How is that a stereotypical
I'm just glad you're there.
man?
Because that's like, well, no, you just finish because I'll explain that after, bro. But that's like stereotypical.
But no, that's
like,
that's it. That's all I have to say about that. Is that I do like wish like some of these people well. Like I'm not steeped in like fucking, what is it? A grudge. Like I don't have a grudge against like anybody who's like done me wrong.
So the crazy thing is, nothing actually happened that night.
No.
Well, and so that's why it's extra funny. It's like nothing happened physically to anybody involved. You know what I mean? And there was no actual event that like took place that really caused any like permanent harm to anyone. Now, what happened between the people involved is a different thing, and between the people involved in them. And I'm just lucky in this moment to somehow been the dude who would have liked to have not have been involved, who was still involved and thus like gets to talk about shit. But like, yeah, it's like, because so the reason I was like, yeah, that's like such a stereotypical man is because like it does be like that. Like dudes when they're young will be like, yeah, man, rah, and then they get older and they're just like, oh man, what was I doing, bro? Like, I just hope that dude's doing well. And it's like, oh, that's nice. And it pisses people off. And see, the thing is, that's good regardless. It sucks, but it pisses people off because that's good regardless. But it's like, yeah, it's like, oh, thanks, Jim. You wanted to wait 40 fucking years?
Yes.
You bro, because that's the stereotypical, that's the bullshit part of it. It's like, hey, Jim, it's cool. It's like, Jim, so I was 16 years old, Jim. My nose isn't in the same spot anymore because you couldn't have realized that. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, that's so fucking
like,
true.
That's the problem. And see, that's the problem because that's how that's what the patriarchy did to men. Like, people be acting like, oh, the patriarchy isn't good for anyone. Men are just dumb. Men are just fucking dumb. Like,
that reminds me of a story when my dad was young and he jacked a dude up like that, like off of some like fucking revenge. We've all been shit there too. In some
like, capacity I feel like, oh man,
I'm starting to figure out that this is like in my bloodline. I gotta like stop it. I just realized that like that was a revenge event in my life, and that was like my dad did like worse, but like similar. Like he jacked somebody up revenge wise, and like like.
My man was needing something, and you know it would have probably been better if he had just processed his emotions because that's what he was needing.
I got weird,
but that ain't how it work.
I got weird country ghetto legends in my family. Like you would never know, but like Logan, if you go to certain places, like
Logan, if you're black, and this may sound crazy to say, I know it's gonna be crazy to say, but if you're black. You should actually hope you have some sort of ghetto country ass legend in your family
the clout
somewhere.
Is good.
Not even the clout, because they was even though they was country and ghetto, you would hope they was getting some shit done, and they was only in that situation acting like that due to the circumstances.
Nothing was getting done. It was just niggas. Like it was just.
Nah, I don't believe that. I don't believe that at all. I don't believe that at all.
All right, like I don't know.
Not if they country legends. Not if they country legends.
No, you could be a legend and not get nothing done. Like that is
right, you actually right. I thought about it and I was like, actually, you could be a legend for some shit, but still,
like for some shit that don't mean shit to nobody
that
except for the people on the block.
But like, everybody was like, "Yo, he did that.
He did that shit.
He did that shit."
Yo, if you're just tuning in, I'm your host Logan, and this is the Milk and Toast podcast. I'm here with my best friend Mitch. Say hi to the people, Mitch.
Hi.
Oh yeah, if you like the show, I do this every time. If you like the show, share the show.
Claire was so much better,
find us on. I know Claire was.
She was. We miss you, Claire. I'm sorry, it's been a while, but we miss you, Claire.
A queen. Every day. Yes.
Every day.
Intro
and I
queen.
hope you're doing well.
I asked her to do that one time and she just banged it out. Like, good.
She was killing that shit. She was like, yo, why are you putting this much pressure, Logan? Shut up.
She just fucking messaged me. Shit. She messaged me like responding to something I sent her
to say
earlier.
Hi. I haven't reached out in a while, but she wasn't responding to me and I didn't want to be like, I didn't want to You know exactly why I didn't like responding again. Like,
so let me talk about Claire for like half a second, and then I'll go back to introing the show. So I sent Claire this morning. I sent her a text because me and Claire both love Nightmare Before Christmas. Like that's our shit.
Wow, is that the one thing we might all share?
I guess. I don't know.
Good
so like
us,
in my Tumblr days, me and Claire would share like GIFs about Nightmare Before Christmas. And yes, I said GIFs. This is my fucking show.
I'm glad you saw my face. I love it. Anyway, keep going.
On this show, we say GIF.
We don't have the time. I say GIF. We don't have the time.
No, it's GIF. Anyways, like I was saying, we would send GIFs between each other from Nightmare Before Christmas, and it was like a whole thing, right? And so we just love like Nightmare Before Christmas. And so like there's this one GIF where like, you know the song where Jack Skellington is like, what's this? What's this? What's this? What's this? You know,
when he first discovers Christmas.
Yeah, when he first discovers Christmas, right? So like like there was this meme that somebody made where it's like, instead of saying what's this, it's like he goes, what the fuck is this? What the fuck is this? What the fuck is you? Like he points at a snowman. He's like, what the fuck is you? Like that. And that we would literally share that before, like back and forth to each other, like every year, like when Tumblr was still alive. Like it was like a thing. And so like today, just randomly, for whatever reason, I'm like singing the song. Like, what's this? What's this? What's this? What's this? And I was like, what if you did this to like, what if the theme of this song was like an orgy? Like, and that's what I sent Claire to do.
Okay.
And it was like you sang the song as if this is the first orgy you've ever been to, and you're just talking about all the shit. I don't know if I'm gonna leave this in the show, but you're just talking about all the shit that you see at the orgy. It's like, what's this? No, don't make me sing it. I'm not gonna do it. But like,
I wasn't trying to force nothing, but I was like, yo, well, if you're gonna do this, man, you might as well let it out.
What's this? What's this? There's everywhere. Like,
okay. Wait, that's how it's.
What's this? What's this? There's in the air. Okay, I'm done.
That's I just thought there would.
What did you think? What did you think? It was going to be better than that? You thought I was a better person than that? You were wrong.
I wasn't going to say better person. I wasn't expecting it to be. You know what? Thank you, Logan. That's what I really am saying. So thank you.
You didn't know you was missing that from your life, did you?
No, I knew. But anyway.
Yeah.
but anyway, thank you.
I have some bleeps to do with that one. No, as always, if you like the show, share the show. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. You know what? If you follow us on there and like I see you like actually follow us, it does make me post more on there, because I really don't be posting on there, and I think like people like go there and they're like, they don't post no shit, but it's really it's like a catch-22. Like I don't see anybody like.
No, that's not how that works.
I know it's fucked up.
Not for this.
I know. I need to be honest. I need somebody to do social media on the show, because
no, that's
because you can't have somebody like me do social media. I'm gonna do social media based off of how I feel that day. That's not good.
No, like that's not. And but hear me out, because I entirely understand.
Yeah,
I entirely understand. But it's not how we gonna do it.
That's not how you're supposed to run your marketing. Like that's not.
Nah, it's just it's not what we need. That's all there is to it.
No.
You know, that's all there is to it. But once again, I understand. Like, moving on.
Listen, I think I introed the pod, okay?
Yeah.
And you know what? If I didn't, I do it at the end anyways too. So like I'm fine. You wanted to talk about Ukraine, and I'm done talking about.
No, don't say it like that. Why do you always say it like that?
The horrible, hard subjects last, because I'm always depressing everybody. Subject. So, like, we're done. We're gonna depress you first, and then we're gonna bring you up on a high note. So, go ahead.
Well, I'm still happy for Ukraine, even though I'm mad at America. So Ukraine got another $1 billion to help efforts in fighting Russia, which is good. Ukraine needs help. So I can't be mad.
Okay.
It's just... Damn, bro, I'm really that person, Logan. I was like, and no, I know. And it's like we both knew, but I was like, why are you doing this to me?
It really put it in context when you have to say it out loud, huh? Like, really?
I hate you so much.
You learn a little something about yourself.
Shut up. Shut up. Shut up.
You know what's great about this show that you can't get on like other shows is that there's people who are willing to hold each other accountable. Like, it's not like just like Tucker Carlson just like sitting here like saying whatever bullshit he wants for like half an hour and then be like, all right, good night, and like just like peace out. Like, you know, like you could totally have that show, Mitch, where you just like said all your ideas about Ukraine. Nobody ever questioned you.
No one said
like a
shit. Fucking
producer in your ear. They never say shit. Like that could be the story, right? But that's
all right. So anyway, so Ukraine was sent another $1 billion on top of the $90 billion that they had already received from us, which is good in terms of them fighting the war effort against Russia, which is a very, 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 very arduous task.
Yes. But go ahead. I think I'm enjoying this a little too much.
You're enjoying a little too much. But it's $1 billion on top of the $90 billion that we already gave them. So
we forgot $1 billion apparently. Like it was supposed to be 92, but like sometimes payday so I can don't come fast enough. So you know how it be.
Yes, oh my God. Just let me get this. So anyway, first and foremost, I'm happy for Ukraine.
You said
I hope it helps.
You said that.
Cool. But I'm mad at America because it's just like, so it's the fact, and of course it's because they're fighting Russia. So like, of course, America politically is going to be like, yeah, man, we always want to support the person struggling. Always.
Right.
That's who America is. Who we are. Fellow white person from across the sea. But that's who we are in general.
Yeah, okay.
Always. Every day. Rest of the world.
No, you're on a roll here. This is good for.
Well, listen, I'm not wrong. It's not that I'm wrong that makes me feel bad about it. So anyway,
what makes you feel bad?
The part that makes me feel bad is the fact, in one sense, that I have to bring it up because the fact is, I just want to be in full support of Ukraine, and I'm technically not in one single capacity because I care about other people.
I'm gonna let you finish. And then I'm going to question you about that. So go ahead. Yeah.
But so, in one capacity. But, so that's the reason why I feel bad. But like, yeah, so it's another $1 billion on top of the $90 billion that we gave them. So it's just that like, and of course it's because they're fighting a war effort against Russia. But it's just like, I guess this is more for me to say and like talk to like people. And specifically in this case, where normally wouldn't be the case, is I'm trying to talk to the whole world, but specifically in this case, to the American people, and be like, this is the country we don't hold accountable every day. Because that's how I feel about it as an American. And in too large a capacity, because we know how the law works and how we're supposed to do things, but this is America. So I know how things really work, because it's America. I know how America was born. I know why it happened. And I know what I have to do to make things happen because that's America. To me.
What are you saying happened? Like, frame what do you think is wrong?
wrong. Well, for that, I wasn't trying to say about what was wrong. I was just saying in terms of like how America was formed. Like in terms, we weren't a country. We started off as colonies for a country that wasn't geographically anywhere near us.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And at some point, we got to a point where we were like, this isn't working out because we're sitting here suffering and there's no benefit to this. And they're like, I'm a king. Like, what do you mean? This is how it's done. You work for us. And we were over here like, that doesn't really make sense, I don't think. Which we were right about, which all of the world is right about whenever you talk about it in this sense.
Right.
And we were like, no. So let's renegotiate these terms. And people were like, no. And we were like, oh, okay. So if we're not going to negotiate, we're just going to take what's ours, create what's ours, and prosper over here on our own. You over there, you're fine anyway.
What does that have to do with Ukraine?
Well, I was talking to the American people. But so anyway, no, I'm just saying, so you, the American people, look at your country and see how they could be willing to, and in a moment's notice, see how capable they are in a moment's notice of giving resources to someone who needs it, which is great. That is really, really great. At a moment's notice, able to make this happen for people. So you just have to wonder, as a person living here, under the people who are able to do that, who are the reason it exists in the first place, why aren't they as capable as doing that in the country itself for the problems that we have here? Is really the only question to ask. Not why they're giving Ukraine the money. We know that already. That reason actually makes sense. It's why aren't they capable of doing the same things in the capacity for the country itself? Is the actual question, American people, to ask yourself. That's my thing, really. That's my biggest thing.
Here's what I want to ask you.
Oh, God.
Because, no, it's on topic. It's on topic. Here's what I want to ask you, because I hear arguments like this, like, all the time. And it doesn't have to be with Ukraine. It could be, like, with anything.
No, it could be anybody. Like, yeah, really.
But literally, that is my point, which is that, like you said, you don't want to be upset with Ukraine, right?
I'm not upset with Ukraine.
And you don't want to be upset with the fact that Ukraine is getting aid. And I understand that. But here's my thing, is that, like, okay, the United States spends trillions of dollars every day on a whole plethora of things, like every day. But the thing you've chosen is the war with Ukraine.
The Ukrainian war with Russia.
Yeah. So I think me pressing you on this issue would be me asking, out of all the things that we do spend our money on, why does this one in particular stand out to you most?
I wasn't feeling like it was standing out. It's just, I'd heard it happened.
Mm-hmm. Ah.
Yeah, it wasn't. I have many things to talk about in this same capacity, but, this is just like the subject of the day.
So it's like just topical.
In that sense, yeah. It wasn't anything more than that.
That's fair. That's fair. That's no. Listen, I asked because I am your friend. And
I'm aware.
I like to be fair. And I feel like it would be unfair to at least it'd be unfair to you and the audience to not ask, why does this particular story get you hackled up? And if it's just for the conversation's sake and for the content's sake, go on. We love good content, King. And but I have to say is that, like, the framing is problematic, however, like the framing that, we got problems at home, why we sending them money? Like, I do like the nuance of it finally being a white country.
Because I'm amazing. But also I've, and in the, just for the record, I haven't been saying, oh, we got problems at home, why are we sending them money? All I've really been saying is, yo, we got problems at home. Why did we send them so much money? Is all I've really been saying.
So you would have settled for a lesser amount of money, is what you're saying.
Well, they need help regardless, and I'm down to send them aid regardless. It's just like,
how much would be an acceptable amount before you would be outraged? That's a good question.
No, it's fair. To be honest, I wouldn't have been mad, and because it's war, unfortunately. I wouldn't have been mad, Logan, for a continuous stream of millions of dollars for like, you know, the next like 6 months to however, and until it got up to like maybe like, you know, 3 to 5 billion. Once it starts getting those numbers, I'd start being like, whoa, like what's going on over there? But like, so we're not even talking that, like, you know what I mean? That for me.
So you'd rather, instead of America buying the whole package, we just did the subscription plan instead.
You're a horrible person. You're a horrible. You're a horrible person.
I feel like I'm making really good content tonight.
To be honest, I have to agree, which only really stands as testament to how horrible a person you are right now.
Thank you.
But to answer your question, yes. Technically, yes.
I'm just trying to put this in modern terms for everybody. You know, everybody knows what it's like to do the subscription. And they say, hey, you could do this for like a year, or you could just buy it outright for $60. And it's like,
but you know, if you want to, and you know, so the thing about a subscription package,
but it's like you say I could buy it all for $70, but like the subscription is $20 a month. So like, what?
Nah, don't do that. Don't do that.
Shouldn't that be done after 4 months? Should I just like paid it off? Like,
don't do that. It ain't that kind of shit.
I just be wondering about that sometimes. I'll be like, huh.
Like, wait, man, should I just have bought the whole package? But in the moment, that's what you could afford.
That is true.
And so that's why you went with that. And that the only reason they were able to do that for you, because in the end,
they scam
technically.
Yo, I'm on fire. Why don't I have like fucking buttons for this shit?
So anyway, yeah. And that's all I really have to say about it.
Okay.
So
yeah, that's all I have record really shows Mitch is still annoyed with the amount of money that we're sending to Ukraine.
Annoyed with America.
Yes. I'm sorry. Like, you know what kills me about the whole thing is that like every time you bring up another like caveat, it's like it doesn't make it any better. Like it's like nice try. Like every time, it's like it does not make the sentiment any better. Like I'm not. It's like you're not exactly like fuck you Ukraine, but you're kind of like fuck you. Like you just I'm not. It's like a whisper.
I'm not. No, I am not. No, I am not.
And I get it. Like some people don't give a shit about Ukraine. I get it. Like,
but that's not who I am. That's not who I am.
We don't talk about it as much as we probably should on the show. I don't know. Like, I feel like we shouldn't.
We shouldn't on one level because we don't. To be honest, if I was going to talk about it comfortably, I'd have to know a lot more. Which I feel like I should know a lot more too
about what's going on, especially if gas. I feel like we should really know what's going on over there if gas prices are going to be this high.
Yo, and if there was ever a reason to get people motivated,
like this high, like we should know.
If there was ever a reason, and so the thing is, and everybody's like surprised, but if you paid attention in history, you wouldn't be, because that's what happens when people fight wars. At this point, like nationally or globally, everything starts to get fucked up and shit gets more expensive. That just happens historically.
The thing that I always think about is how like basic necessities are always like constant. Like they never change. Like food, water, like shelter, like just basic shit. like basic human shit, just like I don't know what it does to my brain to think about, but it just blows my mind sometimes. Like everybody needs to eat. Everybody like needs like sleep. Everybody needs water. Everybody needs like sex. Everybody needs like certain things.
Mhm.
And it's like we take all these things for granted. Like, have you ever like watched somebody just fucking eat? And it's like, wow, like you have to do that. Like, you know what I mean? Like that's how I feel sometimes.
I mean, the following statement was very, very true, but I just don't be watching people eat like that. That's
Like I see somebody like eating a burger, I'm like, damn, like if you didn't do that, you die. Like that's crazy, you know? Like that's
and
wild
it's
to think.
just
Like you can't
habitual.
make that
So you don't
choice.
think
Like you
about it.
just like
No.
like
I mean, actually, you can make that choice, but it means you're suicidal.
yeah. I mean, like, and that's not a good way to take yourself out. To be honest, is starve yourself. That's
it's
like
a really suffering way to take.
It's like
out.
you
It's
really
it's gonna take a little bit.
Like, do you? It's like
it's not gonna be like months, but it's gonna take a few days.
Yeah, that's not good.
Yeah, it's not a. Yeah.
This is usually the part where like shows have like the hotline, and I don't have the hotline, so
no, we don't. But
it's
you
like
1-800-311 if you live in the boroughs. If you live in the boroughs, you can call 311.
There we go.
I used to work for 311. Also, I've used 311. That's our just like in terms of the New York City boroughs. In terms of New York City, if you're ever having issues with almost like anything, call 311. But they also have resources for like suicide prevention and hotlines where you can talk to somebody. You know, just reach out, just make the call. Your life is precious and valuable. Never forget that. I've
been seeing commercials for BetterHelp, which on one hand I'm like, cool, you know, like people need therapy, but on the other hand I'm like, this is some grimy shit. Like I'm just like a mass production of like fucking therapy. Like it's just like there's something weird and wrong about it. It's just like I don't know. It seems like there's like in capitalism, it feels like there's a point you get to where you're gross. Like there's a point where
sadly,
you're too
it's unfortunate
big,
too.
You know,
yeah,
like really you get to be mom and pop and everybody's cool. You know, like you're cool with that until like there's a point where you make like too many millions, and then like you like your commercials are like on every other commercial, and it's just like. Oh, these motherfuckers might be evil. Like it's just like, and like they might not be doing anything. Right. Like they might be doing like great work over there, but like at the same time, it's just like, why do I see you so much? Like it just feels something about it makes you feel like, oh, this is
no for real. That is unfortunate, but it's just because like once you start making that money, and if it's like if you're immediate, I don't know. I guess that's how like we think about it on the whole. I feel it's like when someone's making millions. Like and then if someone's like making billions of dollars and they aren't like doing anything that's helpful to everyone around them, everybody kind of feels the type of way. And we've been taught to be like, yo, that's messed up. That person earned that. But it's like, wait, but they have all of that. You know what I'm saying? We know people are suffering and they've chosen not to help people to work on themselves or do whatever. Normally we call that selfish. But, you know, we're not related to them. They're not our family. They don't owe us anything technically. So we don't take it that far. But like, usually we call that selfish. No one likes a selfish person.
Right.
So what are you going to do?
Speaking of taking care of your mental health and like taking care of yourself, you wanted to talk about how you're starting to go back to the gym, getting right.
Oh, man, bro. Right. So, I haven't stopped exercising, thank God, which is probably the only reason I'm even surviving right now. But I want to say it's at least been a year or at least 2 years since I've actually been inside a gym, like committed, like working out. And part of that is, of course, due to COVID because nobody was inside a gym.
Exactly.
But like, nonetheless, like I didn't necessarily rush back. I was just like doing a lot of exercise from home. Because regardless, I've been working out, exercising my whole life. That's never going to stop. So even if I can't get into a gym, we do calisthenics. We find what we can to work with and continue exercising. But like I went back to the gym and I'm like, yo, like the first day I went back and it was me and like one of my closest homeboys. And so, you know, he had a membership and I was just his guest. And like now I'm like, shit, I might actually just get my own, like now that I'm working again and things are a little bit better. But so yeah, I was his guest and we like pulled up and we started like we had a good workout, and like I was working through it, you know, because I know how to exercise. You know, I'm like advanced in terms of like movement and like exercise, and I'm not worried about things like that. So I was just, you know, out there just doing stuff, like keeping up with him, which he was surprised at, and me too on a little bit, because I was like, oh, I'm like, thank God. But the first time I went back, at least for that first week or like a good week and a half, I swear to God, my body hurt every time I moved. Like every single time I moved, bro. Because we had that first time back, we had done some like deadlifts to start the fucking day. Mind you, we warm up with like some pull-ups, some push-ups, which is good. You know, do a nice warm-up, get your body ready for exercise. And then so we started with some deadlifts. And let me see, I have to count the... Oh no, I have a phone. I could just... Thank God. Yo, look at humans and technology. Good for us. It's also a little bit limiting, unfortunately, but good for us.
Is it?
Technically, yes, because you're using something else to improve upon things that you would otherwise want to do yourself.
Oh, like a tool, like a hammer,
yeah,
like a stick.
You don't make a tool because you want to. You make a tool usually because you have to. Because if you could do the thing, you wouldn't waste the time making the tool.
That's not true. There's mad shit I use tools for that I could just use my hands for.
Yeah, but do you want to?
No.
Which is the point.
But I don't have to. Like it's like
some people have to.
It's like it's just like this would be ass if I had to do it myself, and if I could make it less ass, then why not do that?
Okay, yes, true. In any case, but still, like we create tools to help improve upon what we think we're capable of doing, and if we didn't need to, like we wouldn't do that. But we kind of realize that it's kind of better off. Especially when you think about like the pro hominids like running around, just like being like out in the wilderness, dealing with creatures much stronger, agile and vicious than them, and being like, yo, God, what the fuck?
You know, that's crazy you said that, because chimps are like super strong, and like they still would get torn up by like a jaguar or some shit. Like, you know, like they are like strong enough to like rip your arms off, and they like can't beat like a fucking lion.
Well, a lion, no. A jaguar they can fight, but the lion, no. Lion's just too big, and
that's crazy.
Yeah, because
they can't like use all. They can't use. I'd be like, if it was me, I'd like shout. I'd be like, use the move where you rip his arms off. Like, you know, like.
But it's a lion, so like it's a lion, so technically it's moving faster than you. Which, no, I don't have to say technically. It's just moving faster than you, unfortunately. Unless you're like climbing trees, in which case, all right, cool, chimp. You got advantage there. Get the fuck out of there, bro. But otherwise, if you just met the lion on the Serengeti like an idiot, was like, yo, lion, we ready for this today. I feel like everybody in the jungle, like the entire choir from The Lion King would have pulled up and been like, yo, like, I know we all live in Africa, but y'all know this is not y'all terrain. What's going on here?
Humans are just so fragile.
Not as fragile as we like to believe, but more fragile than what the fuck's around us. And I don't think it's really fair.
Fragile. Like, yeah, it's like really, really fragile.
Like in comparison to everything around us, it's not fair, except for like things smaller than us, like bugs and birds. Yeah,
like we're big. Oh, bugs. The thing God gave us to make us feel good about ourselves. Like, you know, it's like you can squish these all day, little buddy. Like these, you but got
don't
it.
Fuck with the line over there. That one's a no. That one's a no. He was the first in my ideas. My fault. So don't fuck with that one.
Yeah, that was a good one, right?
Just like humans, just like no,
like, no. Why? Why did you make a murder machine?
But look at how they move. No,
look at that.
No, God. Like, don't they look majestic? Yes, but that's yes, God. It's not. So, but hey, I'm sorry. So I was deadlifting. So we started at like a 135 deadlift, right? And then my dumbass was like, all right, yo, let's hit that 225. So that's like 2 caddies on the side, which is 245 plates.
What? You went from 135 to 225?
We warmed up. You warm up with that. And then we built up. So we 135, like 155. And by the end of it, we just had kind of like jumped. And I was like, yeah, I'll see if I can hit that once. I didn't go past that, but I was like, all right, I'll see if I can hit that once. I hit that like three or 4 times because I'm still that strong. But my body was like, yeah, all right, yeah, Mitch. Well, when's the last time you did that, bro?
But why'd you do that?
Well, to be honest with you, because I thought I'd be fine because I haven't stopped exercising. And like we worked up into it, and like, you know, it was first day back at the gym. I was like, all right, let's have a good day. Let's push ourselves. And so I did that.
So young dude bullshit is what you're telling me.
No. This wasn't, yeah, man, let's do it. This was, I thought I'd be okay. I had been exercising still, and I thought I'd be okay because I'd been used to working with weight like that, which I was wrong about.
Yeah.
Which I was horribly wrong about.
So what happened? Yeah.
Well, no, we kept the workout going. We had started with that. What did we do the rest of the day? I think we did some bench pressing too. Oh, yeah, my entire body was sore that day. Yeah, we did some bench pressing too. And then we did like a little bit of some lat pull downs and stuff like that. You know, regular lat pulls. Yeah, and so I left the gym. I felt good. Sore, obviously, already, but I felt good. I was nothing I couldn't handle. But then that week, I was just like, I literally couldn't bend over without like really serious pain. At least like 7 or 8 on the pain scale, which is out of from 1 to 10. And if it had been like 9 or 10, I literally wouldn't be moving at all. You shouldn't really be moving through 7 or 8, but I had shit to do. And like, yeah, legs hurt. Fucking like walking up shit hurts. Like moving, stretching my arms hurts. I'm having to like foam roll, make sure I'm good, bro. And I was like, damn, literally like a week of that. No, it wasn't a week and a half. Okay, thank God I'm exaggerating. But it was like a week of that. And I was like, it's like, yo. And it's, you know, I'm just realizing I'm getting older. You know, I'm still in amazing shape. And I'm aging well. And I hope I continue to age well. God, please bless me. Like, because I'm aging well. I'm in great shape. You know, I feel the aches and pains of age, which is annoying. But otherwise, I'm good. And so it's like you get into moments like this. And I'm just like, ah, damn, okay, like, fuck. Like, this really hurt. I haven't felt like this, like, not really ever. Like, I've had bad days, you know, when I was coming exercising. You know, I played sports growing up. I had taken breaks and come back. But I was like, oh, shit, this is like, nah, I ain't. Like, I ain't never been able to, like, damn, yo, like, come on, relax. And, like, I'm just realizing, I'm like, yeah, getting back to the gym. And, like, you know, it's a fear for a lot of people in terms of, like, getting back. But you got to get back. No matter how much it hurts. If you want to actually live, at least.
What?
For real.
I was with you.
Oh, sorry, was that too much?
If you
My fault.
want to actually live, I'm like, wait, what?
I mean that with every fiber of my being.
If I don't go to the gym, I'm going to die? Like, what do you mean?
Well, okay, well, let's break some of that down, because technically you're going to die regardless.
Thank you.
Technically you're going to die regardless. But, like, what I mean is it's like, all right, maybe it was too much. All right, I didn't mean to exaggerate that shit. I know it was a lot, but that's who I am, because that's how I feel about it. But, like, seriously, like, we see that we're aging differently from the generations before us. And part of the reason is because we're becoming more health conscious, and we're also exercising more on a regular level. We saw that people back in those days who exercised ended up living healthier lives. They didn't die from, like, roid bullshit or drugs or whatever shit. And we notice that people who are more health conscious, who exercise regularly, live longer, healthier lives. You know what I'm saying? We have people in their 50s and 60s who don't necessarily look like they're in 50s and 60s, you know what I mean? And I'm hoping that progression continues as the generations continue on. Like, people just continue to age better. Like, humanity ages better in general.
I'm going to let you know my problem with that right now, though.
What?
As a millennial,
yes,
we all know that life is pain.
Oh, my God.
And what you just said was that, like, people are living longer and longer. And this is a fate that we have to accept now. And I'm not too thrilled about it. Okay. But now, what you've also said is that I should go to the gym and prolong the suffering like another 10 years. Why?
Another, like, 20 to 40.
So, like, I'm already doomed to live till I'm, like, 100. Now you want me to live to 115 or some shit.
Okay, now wait. Now, here's the thing. So, what I mean in terms of living a better life, because it doesn't necessarily mean, because depending on genetics, that you will live per se that long, but while you're living, you'll be healthy enough to do, you know, things that you otherwise wouldn't necessarily be able to do if you were in worse shape. You know what I mean? Things that you may want to do. And if you don't want to do that, okay, that's fine, whatever. But, you know, it's really cool, fun things that people should be doing. And, you know, pushing themselves to be able to do. I think. And you'll be able to do that whether you die at 60 or 95. I just think that's a better life to live, personally.
Why can't you just let me get old and die in peace?
You're going to get old and die in peace regardless. I just want you to like be able to move while you do it.
No, just let me sit down on the couch and watch my novellas.
No,
like, just
that's not who I am.
Let me. Yeah, I don't want to go outside.
I'm not going to let you do it. If you choose to do it, okay.
I can't wait to like just do nothing. Like all this doing something shit. Like, this is garbage, man. Doing something all the time. Like,
this is like, I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it, bro. Like, damn, I just want to sit in this chair and like not be left alone.
When do I get to do nothing? That's
like,
crazy.
Hey, Logan, you want to?
And I don't mean sleeping. Like, people confuse sleep with doing nothing. Sleep is active. Like, I mean, like, no, I want to do nothing. Like, I want to be able to sit my ass down and be like, wow, this is nice. Like, just like fucking not have to worry about doing something later, just doing nothing.
Just sit down.
Like, I want to do so much nothing that, like, when I sit down and I have nothing to do, I think about what I'm doing later, and my answer is nothing. Like, it's just like that's what I want.
Oh my god, bro.
Logan is tired.
Bro, we're just talking about like, hey, Grandpa, you want to go outside? Logan just sitting there. No, you go ahead.
Nah, you go ahead. Yeah.
and smiles when he says it. Nah, you go ahead, sweetheart. Okay, Grandpa. and then just looks away and is just like, I lived for this.
Yes.
It's not the worst thing. Isn't the worst thing. It's not who I am, but it's not the worst thing. I understand.
Not too long ago, there used to be a time where like people like going to work was an insult. Like, and I get it was for like aristocrats and shit, but like let's bring that to the masses. Like let's bring that to everybody. Like we stopped too short. We stopped too soon. Like society went in the wrong direction when it said that everybody needed to go to work. Like what is no.
Everybody wasn't going to work.
No.
And I was like, yo, what the fuck? Everybody's not reaping these benefits. And yeah, that's when the insults created. Oh, you're going to work? I have people working for me. It's like, okay.
There is a part of like white society that I have observed that is very close to the remnants of that. Because like I was watching like I'm gonna tell you why I say that. I was watching The Devil Wears Prada, right?
Yeah.
And that's a movie about a white woman who goes to work and all of her friends hate her for it. Like that is what that movie is about. Like you cannot convince me otherwise.
Okay.
Like she gets a job and everybody thinks that the movie is about how her boss is horrible. And that's not true. Everybody's boss is horrible. So that's not really novel at all. It's not anything new or crazy about like you have a boss and it sucks. Like, like that's not anything. So like the real story is every time you watch her interact with her friends, how much her friends say that they hate her going to work. And then rarely do you ever see any of her friends go to work. So this movie is really about the fact that they hate that this woman is working. And so like,
okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like there's this remnant there in the culture where they're telling on themselves, white people aren't going to work. That's all I'm trying to say. That's my Hotep conspiracy. They're not going to work, and they lying and telling us that they are. They're not. Because why would you be worried about somebody going to work? Why would that be one of your fables? Why would that be one of your folklore stories? That's how I'm describing a movie as a fable. Look.
Huh.
But think about that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I am. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Open your third eye, Mitch.
All right, so moving on. So yeah, man, I've been getting back into the gym, and it's been like it's been kicking my ass.
Yeah,
and like I respect it, even though it's so annoying. And like I absolutely tell whoever's afraid of getting back in or feel like it's too late to get back in, it's not. There doesn't have to be pain like there is with me. I just tend to push myself harder than I should sometimes due to good and bad habits that I formed in my adolescence. So yeah, but you don't have to, it doesn't have to be like that, but you should always get back, get that work in, live a healthier life. It's a better life. Whether you want to live an active life or do nothing, the healthier life is just a better life. And so, make sure you eat the right things, diet, take care of your dietary habits, and then exercise. Human body was built to move. That's one undeniable fact. However you feel about it, it was designed and made to move. And if you don't move it, you'll lose it sooner. And there's no reason to lose what you physically have, whether you're dying at 60 or 82.
But technically, on the other hand, if you never moved at all, you never lost anything.
Logan, I'm going to walk over. I probably should run, but I'm going to walk over. You know what? Never mind.
Get your steps in. Do what you got to do.
Anyway, I said what I needed to say. That's all I really wanted to say about that, truth be told. But it's just, workout culture can be a very intimidating thing sometimes, and it's not, especially with like Blink Fitnesses existing in gyms of that nature.
What's Blink Fitness?
Blink, bro. You know what Blink is?
Okay, yeah, I just asked.
You don't know what the Blink gym is? Oh, I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry. My fault.
I don't go to the gym. If I work out, I do that shit at home. I don't need people watching me lift shit.
Well,
I feel like so judgy. You. Like I, on the other hand, do not go to the gym. I don't like going to the gym. I feel like
some people don't. Yeah,
I feel like people are watching
like
me.
Space, yeah.
I don't
Technically,
like it.
They are, but they really aren't. It's just you're all in the same space. You can no one's watching you, but you can all see each other. Okay, all right, big deal. So you can all see each other. Sorry,
I don't want you to see when I'm like, I want to do a light workout. Let me pick up these 5s. Like, I don't want you to see that.
Oh,
like,
are you talking about your toxic masculinity?
Sorry.
Oh, that's what you're saying you don't want to deal with?
No, dude. You know why? Because I don't want to deal with other people's
Wait.
I don't want to deal with other people's toxic masculinity.
For Logan's toxic masculinity.
That's why
and everyone else's toxic masculinity. But mostly Logan's, because nobody else's matters. It's just his toxic masculinity that keeps him from going to the gym.
I don't like dealing with other people's toxic masculinity that says I got to be in the gym lifting like Schwarzenegger every fucking time I'm in there. I don't want to do that.
Who's telling
people's
you that?
Eyeballs. They're always like
people's eyeballs.
Yeah,
people's
like,
eyeballs are looking at you. You
there?
can read their minds. Since when can you read their minds, Logan?
I'm a Pisces. Of course, I read people's minds. What the fuck are you talking about?
Okay, we're not going to get into the astrology thing again, which we could do later. It's surprising we haven't talked about it once on the show. Now that I think about it, but in any case, no, you wear people's eyes, what they're thinking. You can't read their minds though. You wish you could, and you think you could. You think you can, which is the problem. But anyway, we'll talk about that later too.
This is the problem.
Well, because it is. But in any case,
Why is
you
that
can't.
A problem? If I could do it, what is the problem with it?
The problem is that you can't. You just think you do. That's the problem. If you could, it wouldn't be a problem.
Why do we have friends that always tell us what we can't do? That's what I want to know.
Okay, so anyway, in terms of dealing with toxic masculinity, everybody, or toxic femininity, since both exist in the gym culture, because when you get into the gym culture, things get toxic sometimes.
Definitely.
So, when you go into a gym space, regardless of how you go into this space, and this is a good time for that. We need to talk about some gym etiquette. So, first off, gym etiquette as an individual. When you go into the gym space, the fact is, you owe no one in the gym space anything except yourself when you walk into the gym space. You get to decide what that space means to do, what that space means to you, what you're going to do in the space, and how you need to help you in that space. Rule number 1, and that is rule number 1. That's the most important thing. Second, it's a gym space, meaning it's a social space. Other people are going to be there.
That's what
Other
I
people
like.
may be there judging you. You're not to be involved with them. You're not to be judging other people. You're in the space to work on you, grow stronger, get better, go home, go back, do it at whatever level or consistency you want to be doing it at. Point blank, period. After that, no one's watching you, and you're not watching anybody. But, like I said, everybody sees each other. We're human beings, and we have eyes, unless we're blind, and perhaps they don't work. But nonetheless, if you have eyes, they're meant to look at things. And we, as human beings, like to look at things. Some of us like to look at certain things more than other things. And in the gym space, that's going to happen a lot too. For the most part, don't be a dick. Don't make someone uncomfortable. Go about your business. There's nothing wrong with looking. There's nothing wrong with being looked at. Just don't make someone uncomfortable.
Okay. Thank you for saying that.
No, that's because that's the issue.
That's the issue. Yeah.
People are gonna look at each other. Don't make someone uncomfortable. Please, for the love of God.
Yeah,
please.
don't be staring at people while you picking your belly button.
Bro, just please don't do that.
Just sitting there licking your lips and shit. Like, why? Why, Fred? Why?
And last rule, and this will be the last rule. And it's simple. Respect yourself, respect those around you, respect the space. And that's all there really is to it. That's the gym culture, the proper gym culture and etiquette. No matter where you go. If it ain't working like that, you in the wrong place. I don't care where the fuck you go. You know, obviously.
You like Planet Fitness?
I haven't really worked out there. I've worked out at Blink, and then I was a personal trainer at Equinox. So that was great for a good little while.
You know, to be honest, it's not that bad. But you know, Planet Fitness. I've been to a Planet Fitness with like a friend. Mm-hmm. But like, Planet Fitness has a lot of rules, I hear. But I feel like it's worse probably up north. Like, I was in a Planet Fitness down south where like people were toxic. Like, I feel like because they're toxic already, like it levels out. Like, you could have like a normal experience. But like, if you came up here, like people going to be serious about it. I don't know. I haven't tried the Planet Fitness up here, but I feel like they would actually could conform to like real rules and shit.
Okay,
so
Ocala.
Like, yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Gotta go back to my little podunk country town. Go to local Planet Fitness.
Right.
Oh, listen. I wanted to talk about not blacklashes, backlashes. I wanted to talk about backlashes, and what I mean is, yeah, I know, I'm that guy now. I hate when people do that. Yeah. But no. So, like I was telling Mitch, there last month, or at least the last couple of weeks, there were like a bunch of anti-trans bills that came out, especially in like Ohio. Most of them having to do with like trans athletes in sports. If you've heard about it by now, one of the laws require that like if this is in Ohio. This like if like there's a like a girl wins a competition, for example, and it's suspected that she's trans, right?
Oh, okay.
She could undergo like an evaluation where like they would even like go so far as to check her genitals and stuff. Like we're talking about a child. Like this is a teenager. Like this is a child. This is a baby. All right. And this is the level that we're getting to. Now, thankfully, a lot of people like who work in the school system said they will not be doing that. They're not going to be like checking children's genitals, and thank God.
Well, I imagine nobody wants to. I imagine everybody was just like, all right, you guys are gonna have. Everybody's like, nah. It's like, guys, but we're like, nah. I'm not doing that. Sorry.
Well, the fact that they wrote it at all, is so crazy to me. But hold on one second. I just had to. I was echoing or something. Anyways, the fact that they wrote it all, just chilling with my ghetto ass podcast. Don't even mind me. to me is not surprising, to be honest. I feel like it's more indicative of how things have been going anyways. Like, what I mean is, before like Dave Chappelle, before like Donald Trump or whoever else or whatever conservative person you can like think of that may or may not be anti-trans, is there's support for trans people in the vein of like, we've had a more open society, I feel like, towards trans people, where like we're at the level where like more children are like exploring their own genders and stuff. Like, we have people like actually thinking about what gender identity is. We have people making fun of the pronoun thing, but only because that is a proliferation of sorts when it comes to like people being able to express their identity and express how they want their identity to be called. You know what I mean? And so like, we get to this point where the positive and the good happens, but we don't ever like for some reason we never ever prepare or think that like the empire will strike back, you know. Like, we never think that like there isn't going to be a backlash of sorts by the same people who were against us in the beginning anyways, you know what I mean? And I say us, but and I mean just like on like these type of issues and topics. But because I'm not saying that like I'm trans, that's not like, I'm not saying that like I'm part of that community. But what I'm saying is that like, as somebody who like, I want to say that like I support those issues, you know, it does not feel good to hear like people trying to do more harm to that community. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so when I'm listening to certain things, when I'm listening to like them come out with these things, it seems like to me that like it all seems a little flat-footed. Like, we were able to like make a stride, but we're not able to like react properly or like prepare properly. Like, I feel like even if we go from like last year when we were talking about Dave Chappelle, like, and all the like comments he made about trans people and the things he's been saying for like last couple of years, but then like he really ramped it up last year, and like even this year, like he's been like more out and about it. Like, people be like, they go to the show and then like it's like an hour of trans jokes, and it's just like, okay, you know what I mean? So it's like that's a part of like, there was positive energy there. You know what I mean? At once there was positive energy, and now it's like being overcome by negative energy. And I feel like it's the same thing as like when an election happens. Like, you know, you could have like somebody who's like at least kind of progressive, and then next thing you know, like, we just like, I don't know, we don't vote or whatever, and then next thing you know, we have like somebody like Donald Trump in office or something. And so I don't know, that's just a concept I've been thinking about, because I just realized that like, we can have all the activism we want, but then if we're not prepared for like people to like voice their opinion as well about why they hate it, or what they're willing to do to express that hate, I feel like the whole thing becomes a little like moot. Like, it becomes really ineffective that we're just going back and forth all the time.
I mean, doesn't the dialogue still have to be had on one sense?
In what,
you know what
sense,
I mean?
Though?
Well, or
because I've also been questioning that too. So like,
it's like, I mean, not in like a disrespectful, malicious sense, right? But it's like, obviously there is an uneasiness here on some level, and unless people, and not to take it all the way there, but want to get like violent in terms of how they deal with things, there has to be some talk on why you're uneasy and how we can alleviate that uneasiness or whatever, or what you can do, because it's your problem to deal with. You know, if we're being honest, yeah, it's your problem to deal with. What can you do? So I imagine there has to be some dialogue regardless. But like in terms of like the backlash, like how do you mean? Because I guess I got a little bit lost there. Just like direct.
I just mean like, okay, like let's take it off of trans issues, for example. Like let's talk about like sexism, right?
Okay.
You support like a feminist idea, like you support equal pay for equal work for women, right? And so like you support that so much that like you get a bill passed, and then that bill turns into a law, you know, the whole Schoolhouse Rock thing. And then like finally like you've done it, you've achieved it, right? What usually I notice happens is like we'll get equal pay, and then it's like people like, well, that's done, I can go home now. And then like a couple of years later, like you have like you just have these people that get into office and they're like, nah, fuck that. And then like they like fucking erase the shit. And then like everybody's true. Like, oh my God, how did that happen? Like this is just like, and that's what I mean by like a backlash, is that like there seems like this weird assumption that like you were in a fight in the beginning. You were literally fighting for somebody's rights or your own rights, and then when you got those rights or you got whatever you was looking for, you just like stopped, and you didn't think that it needed to be further defended later on.
Oh, for further defended is one thing, because that's true, but in terms of like getting something done, unless like force is applied, like, you know, there's a difference between actual legislation and then like wanting something to be legislation added on with like ignorance of what actual legislation takes. You know what I'm saying? So in terms of the topic we were talking about, it like the laws and stuff, it's like, so to me, it kind of looks just like, it's like, yeah, we were about this, and then the actual legislation wasn't what lined up. And it's like, what could people do? Sure, you could, you know, continue protesting as you want to do to have some effect. But when you actually get in, you know, to, you know, rooms where legislation happens, it's like, well, what's actually happening? Can you do anything? Can you affect that change? Everyone should be involved in that process, but that's not realistically how it works.
I guess from my perspective, it always feels like this is something that is wholly avoidable. You know what I mean? And so like when we have things like this, to me, I just feel like there's no reason, to be honest, why some of these things are happening. I don't see it that way. You know, I feel like there's no reason why we have a bill in Ohio for some reason that like you didn't know that these people hated. Like I think that's what my problem is that when it comes to like when you said like, shouldn't there be a dialogue, right? And I think that like we've had conversations about like certain issues on this show before, and it's like we can have a dialogue about it, and like we know that we don't mean anything malicious, and we know that like if we say something untoward, like I said, we'll hold each other accountable. And like what the main goal of this show is not to like debase anybody or to ruin anybody, but it's really to go forward, you know, like to find a better future for everybody else, at least when we're talking about like serious things. Like we're all looking for the best outcome for people in general, like for people, you know what I mean? But like, that's not the story with the world. And I feel like a dialogue is good, but there also needs to be like this realization that like not every dialogue is fruitful, and not everybody you need to have not every topic needs a dialogue. You know what I mean? Like when it comes to just like treating somebody else like a human being, like, and we're gonna have a dialogue about that. Like the question becomes, is the dialogue about how much of a human you're gonna treat me like?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's kind of what I mean, is that like there are people who actively voice their willingness to treat you like you're not a human, right? And to say that I am just having a simple disagreement with these people is not, it's not enough. It's just not enough.
Right.
because I'm like not having just a simple disagreement. Like I'm fighting for my life, my well-being, you know? Like I feel like more parents should be upset about that. Like, what do you mean you're going to check my children's genitals if they win a
Yeah.
race? You know what I mean? And like this will definitely affect like black athletes, which this is like there's just so many problems with this. And then like it just gets to the point where like people don't understand what like hate is. It's like they like when you're anti
Yeah.
something on a
No,
political
yeah.
scale,
Yeah, that's
especially
fair.
when you're that high up, like in the government, like this is an exasperated thing where like the sky is the limit towards people you don't like when you have power. You know what I mean? And so like that's kind of what I'm talking about when I'm saying like backlashes and stuff is like we can talk about like how great it is that like you know somebody can express themselves, and we can talk about and inform people about the different types of genders and things like that, and that's great and all, but like if we're not willing to protect that, like it doesn't mean shit, like it doesn't mean anything, and we're just letting people get harmed at the end of the day. That's how I feel about it though. So yeah, it's my 2 cents.
It's a fair 2 cents. It's always complicated when you talk about things on that scale. Well, not like complicated, but like we always complicate it when we talk about things on that scale. But the simple fact of the matter is, it's like, yeah, like you said, like how much of a human being are you going to treat me as? That's the biggest issue. Because it's like no one should be able to get to decide that. We were all supposed to agree on that on some level. And if you like change the rules just for one specific person, we do have to stop, take a look, and be like, what the fuck's really going on there? It's only fair. But yeah, man, I don't know. It's like I'm literally getting to a point now where I'm like, all right, I need more time to actually process what I'm really feeling before I say anything, because I don't have enough knowledge. That's literally, and it makes me sad because I've otherwise never actually felt that way before. I mean, other than like being a kid and growing up and learning things. Otherwise, if you give me most subjects, I'll be able to pick things apart. But now I'm just like, all right, okay, so man, woman, male, female, and like we're actually looking at the differences and being able to look at them in a way more introspective way. And I'm just like, shit, all right. Because at the end of the day, I do want things to be fair. And we as a society already decided certain like activities together weren't unfair for whatever reasons, and now we're like reevaluating that technically entirely. When you think about it, we're reevaluating everything entirely, which is good. Which is good, truth be told. But it's just like, oh fuck, it was a lot simpler back then.
I think it is good, but it was simpler, but it's simple. That's based off of other people's silence. You know what I mean? It's like
which is
when,
true. Yeah,
you know
no,
what I mean?
absolutely,
It's,
absolutely, that's
it's
absolutely
like
true.
saying that like when I hate when like white guys say like older white guys say that like like politics used to be so much easier when everybody got along, and what they really mean is like when everybody was white. It was like like yeah, you guys really did have like the same interests. I don't know why that was like it's like yeah, like you can get along when everybody looks like you and everybody like has the same goals and experiences. But like when we like expand like our definition of like human, and like And when I say our definition of human, I really mean like just like the society that we're talking about's definition, because it's like you was always human. It's just that like when you live in a society that doesn't recognize you as such, you know,
is where
that's
the problems
fucked.
arise.
You know what
It's
I mean?
literally where
Yes.
all the problems
So
arise.
it's like when we're talking about like issues of like marginalized people that maybe we don't understand, it's like even with the sports thing, it's like my stance on that still stays the same, is that like maybe the way we do sports is wrong. Like it's just like it's like if we can't accommodate everybody, there's a problem. Like because like everybody should be able to do something, you know? So we have to be able to think in a more creative way where we're like able to expand what our definition of things are, like where we're able to like expand what we think. And it is going to take some time, and it is going to look weird at first. Like it's going to look fucked up, wonky, because nobody knows what the fuck we're doing, right? And like there should be some grace for that, you know, that like people are figuring it out. But like for people who are actively trying to work against that, work against progress, we need to have our eyes open more and be like, listen, this is somebody who's literally not trying to help, and this is somebody who's literally trying to harm. You know, I was watching this video. I was watching a video earlier this afternoon about like, it was like an Abba and Preach video. I really don't like those guys, but like I still watch their videos, so it's like one of those things.
Okay,
and so like.
That's your business, man. You process that later.
I know. Everybody has their problems, but like they had like this video about like trans kids were yelling at this Texas politician in Texas because like he's trying to be like a state senator or something, and like he came to a college. I don't know why he did that shit. And then like there was a bunch of trans kids that weren't necessarily from that college where they came to protest him, and they was yelling and spitting and like fighting and cussing.
Oh shit.
Yeah, it got out of hand real quick. But, you know, I was like, good for them. You know, that was my feeling about it. But like their like thing in the video was like, oh, these people, they just make like people who like support these issues look bad. And I'm just like, no, like expand your fucking definition of what it means to be an ally. Like if you're talking to somebody who's facing down somebody who's like an existential threat to them, you can't tone police that. Like what would you do when somebody literally threatens you, your whole life, your whole existence,
your livelihood? Yeah,
like spitting or like yelling or whatever is like the least of what you could do. You know what I mean? Like voicing your frustrations, like fucking, like we don't live in a world where like Karens walk their dogs and just call the cops on black people because they're bored. Like, you know what I mean? Like, like we need to think about like when we talk about like being an ally, what that means, and like if we really are one to begin with. You know what I mean? I'm getting on a rant.
No, yeah, we gotta, shit, well.
Anyways, I'm sorry, guys. You still didn't see Obi-Wan Kenobi. I'm so mad about that. Like, damn. Like, why?
So you just gonna shame me on the show then?
Yeah, I did. No, because I wanted to talk about James Earl Jones again. Because
you can still talk about James Earl Jones.
I know. You're right. That was totally unnecessary for me to shame you. Didn't have to do that. That's my apology. No, I saw the James.
Let's talk about James.
I saw the James Earl Jones fences thing. I saw James Earl Jones.
Yeah, it's crazy. You didn't believe me at first. I was like, bro, you serious?
No, I didn't believe that this was a thing. I mean, I kind of believed it was a thing, but I just like. Anyway, I wanted to give you what my impression of the thing was. which was first off, I want to ask you before I get into it, who do you like more playing that character of Troy? Like, do you like Denzel playing that character, or do you like James Earl Jones playing?
I didn't see all of James Earl Jones playing it.
Well, just from that, like, I feel like that's the pivotal scene of the whole like production. Like,
and then one was on theater, the others. Oh, God,
no, Denzel did it on theater too. He
I
does
didn't
it
see
just
that one. I only
he
saw
does
it
it
in
just
film.
about the same way he does it in the movie, though. It's
that would
not
make
a
sense.
big difference.
I think I'll say James Earl Jones still.
You like James Earl Jones is better.
Yeah, I think I'll say James still.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's interesting. That's an interesting take.
Yeah, I know. But yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
Why James more?
Well, just I don't have like an exact reason. But to me, in terms of just like the performance, it feels more direct with James Earl Jones and less nuanced. And I know that's funny, and less nuanced. And I know it's funny to hear that. But for the moment, what he was going for, what I think Troy is really going for, what the character is going for, because Troy ain't the person looking for nuance. He's not sitting here. Like, it wasn't about necessarily painting the poetry for you, son. It was, this is it. Like, why you asking me? Because that's who he is. Why you asking me all these questions? Ever like the fuck? Man, I told you come outside so we could build this fence, bro. Why you need to? We building a fence. We two men. We building a fence. What the fuck more do you need? Which is the point of the character. And like in terms
dry
of
toxicness, yeah.
Unfortunately, and and so mind you, once again, this is just my personal take because I think Denzel's rendition is beautiful. It's entirely different and it's great. But for me, in terms of how I see the character, and I'm an actor looking at it, I think James Earl Jones' portrayal hits it more on the head. Like that is what it was. It wasn't like because Denzel. The reason why people like Denzel's rendition is because he connects in a way with the character that people are wanting more. They're like, yeah, like, why is he like that? They're wanting, yo, what's the deeper side of it? But people forget that sometimes people is really simple. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It isn't about necessarily there being a full on complexity that's expressed in the moment in the character. It's like, that's who that person is right then and there. They're not looking for poetry. Like, to me, the character is, yo, listen, this is simple. The fuck? This is how it is. Take it all. Let's cut this shit out. And that's the other thing. Because it wasn't supposed to really be hey, man, let's draw this out, son. We have to have a deep moment. Troy's not trying to connect with his son. Troy is not on a deep level. Because remember, Troy, it's simple. We're men. Right. Like, I raised you. It's my responsibility. Come on. Who a father said that's what fathers, it's my responsibility. That's what he knows. And he does his responsibility, but not for the sake of love, for the sake of duty, responsibility. I would be shamed. Otherwise I'd be less of a man. That's what's important. And so in terms of getting that across, I just feel like James Earl Jones gets it across better. Because with Denzel's character, you do actually empathize more. You know what I mean? And in this particular situation, because, it's just weird how writing is, and that's probably why it's so good. Shout out to August Wilson. Thank you, for real. But, like...
You just kissed August Wilson?
Yeah, so.
All right.
So, anyway. So, yeah, that the point wasn't for there to be this complex, nuanced poetry. Troy didn't understand why his son didn't understand his son being raised by him, who was raising him to be a man. You know what I mean? Why don't you get this? This isn't, bro. Why don't you? Why don't I like you? Nigga, bro, you grew up in the house that I gave you. You eat food. That's my food. All
right, you don't have to do the whole thing.
Sorry. I wasn't, but like, yeah. So for me, when I look at the two of them, and
would you play Troy or would you play the son?
Now I'd play the father. When I was younger, I'd probably play the son.
You're not that much older. Like
I meant like versus 19 versus now, but like, yeah, now I'd play. Well, I actually I could wait on Troy. I could still play son. Yeah. But I could play Troy now. No problem.
You feel
no problem.
Right.
Yeah,
I might have to see that.
And that's not because of how I'm aging. That's just because I get it.
I feel like I
put
wanted
some grays
to,
in my head. I get it.
I feel like I want to do like a Shakespeare in the Park of like fences. Like I want to make that.
Are you going to direct it?
Yeah,
Because you haven't directed theater much.
I haven't directed theater, no.
So
like,
if you want to figure it out, I'll work with you. But
my style is just like
I remember working with you, but on film, not theater.
I need you to like fucking open up your fucking heart and like put it on the sacrificial lamb that is the stage.
Now can you properly get me to a point where the flow and process of that
I think so
is amazing.
I think so.
Well, I guess we'll have to see.
I don't know if you'll make it out on the other end psychologically okay.
I'll be fine because I live for that anyway.
I like to open a lot of floodgates.
But I guess what will really happen is Mitchell pulls up to try to see if he can make sure Logan does a proper production of Fences in the park.
Check up on me. My shit gonna be good.
We'll see.
Whatever. No, okay, so I watched it. Okay.
Yeah, which do you prefer? Okay. Yeah, you didn't even...
In the movie, if we're talking about like everything that comes with the play, which is like...
Yeah, because I didn't see Denzel in the play. I saw him in the film.
This is the big difference between the play and James Earl Jones, like interpretation and Denzel's. Like in the play, which is a point I wanted to talk about, is like when James played it, you're right, he played it real straight, right? And like,
but there was still a lot there, but yeah, straight.
There's not a lot of interaction from the audience except at the end of the scene, and then like he gets an ovation, right? But like, it's also a different time. Like it's like
also fair.
It's
also
like
fair.
I think it's like in the late 80s or something.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's like around that time, right? And I'm like, okay, makes sense. Because like, you know, they're like, oh wow, what is this? You know, whoever's watching it, you know. It looked like it was a lot of white people in the crowd, and then like that also adds to whatever. Because on the other hand, I saw the Denzel one where he was in the play, because I was like, I've seen Denzel do the movie. I wanted to know what it was like him on the stage. Mm-hmm. And he does pretty much like, he does it for the stage, but he does pretty much what he did in the movie, right?
Okay.
Like beat for beat.
Okay.
Pretty much. And I forget who plays the son. It was... No, I don't remember. And like, but like, I noticed that like in the scene, which to be honest, to me feels like a really like deep and real scene. Like when you watch it in the movie, it seems like a fucking serious scene. Like it doesn't seem like it's played for comedy. However, like the audience laughs along the scene as if it was comedy, you know?
Yeah.
And it's a more modern audience, which I notice, which is different. So like my thing is like either A, we've gotten dumber, or B, plays have gotten cheaper where like more dumb people can afford them.
Now, what if I tell you that a hybrid of both may be the actual answer? Because I can, for a matter of fact, say, unfortunately, that humanity has gotten dumber. Now, on the other side of things, you know, well, let me continue.
Yes,
let me finish. On the other side of things, in terms of cheaper plays being produced, I wouldn't be as experienced in that, but I have read plays from different time periods and noticed that earlier on, there was a few more things going on sometimes, you feel me? Versus now, that's a little bit harder to find.
Mm-hmm.
Not necessarily that it's not found, of course, just
right.
A little bit harder to find. So could be a combination of both.
I will say that like when I watch Denzel's performance, it feels more real.
That feels more real to you?
Yes. It feels less like a play than...
okay.
You know what I mean?
No, I can understand that.
It feels more like I said, like he's not a deadbeat dad, but he's deadbeat adjacent. Like it feels like
Yeah, Troy is deadbeat adjacent.
I'm like,
bro.
I know this person. Like this person, I know. Like you ever see like a bad dad? Like you're just like, yep, that's him. Like I get that. Like you know what I mean?
Oh, it
But,
teaches such a great lesson, that play.
like this is the other point is like the audience laughs along with him being like completely abusive, and I'm just like, oh man, like what is? I'm like, all of you need therapy right now.
Like everybody.
You need. I'm gonna send everybody the link to
And the
BetterHelp.
wife, she needs therapy because of them.
I'm talking
for
about
her.
the audience. Like I'm talking about everybody in the audience needs therapy because like they're like laughing along, like, yeah, tell him he's stupid again. Like it's just like it's like I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Like this is somebody who is being horrible, and everybody's like, yeah, I remember my dad said that too. Like it's just like that's not
like,
a good
no,
thing.
That's
right?
not a. And it's like, yeah, that's the lesson you're supposed to learn.
Yeah,
boy.
it's like, bro, this is not
like,
this is not the wave.
We need help. We're in a dark place. Shit.
But that also just like plays into it. And so like I'm watching like James Earl Jones do his thing. And like to me that one was more funny because James Earl Jones, like I said before, is very regal. He's a very regal human. Okay? Yes. Yes. The man was probably like a king in a past life. Like he probably was. Like I'm serious. Like he's got a lot of king energy. Like you know, like how like brothers like to call each other king. Like he's actually that. Like he's actually a king.
Hey,
like,
king.
Like,
and they'd be like, yo, someone's like, yo, it's so nice. It's like, nah. That's
he's like
king. That's sire.
He is actually.
We would bow, but he don't like that shit. So
right. And so like I'm watching him, and like the way he says nigga is just like
oh my god, bro. Oh my god. This is what we doing today? Oh Jesus. I'm sorry, James. I'm so sorry. This is like, embarrassing for me. I apologize.
Never said it ever in his whole life.
What? Oh my god. Anyway, nigga. James, I apologize once again.
He tried so hard. It's like, nigga. And the way he said it was like, even in the context of what he, like, Denzel says it fine. Like, Denzel, like, is in context, he's in character, and it's fine. Like, James Earl Jones is, like, saying it real Shakespearean-like, and it's just weird. And it's so funny to me. And I'm like watching it, and he's like he's trying hard to be a bad dad, and he's doing all right. But
all
just
you
like,
can see him as is Mufasa, and we can't see him as Darth Vader because he was only
see
the
him
voice.
As Mufasa. It's just that like
it so is.
The way he says things and the way he acts them out is like he's not. It's like, what were you? Were you somebody who ran a Fortune 500 and then fell on hard times? Like, what is your story? Like,
how do you insult somebody complimenting them, bro? Oh, anyway,
I have many talents.
Anyway, oh god,
like what is going on? Is my question. It's like, how? He's just so proper. He's a proper human. Like he's a proper human.
Oh,
he is.
All right,
like, he's a proper dude. Like Denzel is like. Denzel
proper
is like,
but hood adjacent.
Yeah, exactly. He's definitely that dude that like he probably wouldn't be like selling like drugs on the street.
But
like
he knew the nigga on the block and like would
like,
pull up.
Yeah, like he knows everybody. He's probably like Denzel is like probably like he's not gonna like sell drugs, but like Denzel will probably do like something like sell meat pies on the side of the road. You know what I mean? Like he's like that. Like, you know, like he's gonna sell you meat pies and bad advice. Like that's what Denzel would be if Denzel wasn't Denzel. Like that's what I'm trying to say.
Sell
It's
you
like
meat pies.
yeah, it's like talking about my brother. Like he's like that. Like like that's what he would be doing. And like it's not like he's like the older he gets and the more interviews I see him in, like the more it's confirmed to me that would be his life. But that's the type of person you want playing Troy. Like you need that. Like they're just like that little hint of niggadom. Like just that little
my God.
Like just,
I can't do this.
That's all I'm saying. Like that's
okay.
And like James does not have that. James is like Uncle Phil. Like he is not like that at all. Who would win in a fight, him or Uncle Phil?
In terms of like the actors, or in terms of like the characters?
They just brawling.
No, I mean like Troy and Uncle Phil, or
no,
like
I'm talking about
James Avery and James Earl Jones.
Yeah, James Earl Jones. Yeah.
Oh. I mean, I think Uncle Phil's younger, so that'd be my only thing. Yeah.
I think James Earl Jones. I know he's proper. I'm saying he's proper, but like
it's like no, he take off the pea coat.
I've seen his arms.
Like, he take off the pea coat and roll up the sleeves and be like, well, Avery, I didn't think tonight would be a good night for fisticuffs.
He seems like the type of dude that like he slaps you first, but like with his whole arm. You ever seen people use their whole arm to slap somebody? Dude, yeah, like that. Like that's how.
And what say you now, James?
Yes. Like they both big men, but I feel like Jones got it. Like like he got it. Like I feel like James Avery's gonna give, like he seems like he scraps. Like he seems like a scrapper, you know, like he can probably like throw down himself, but I don't know. Against Darth Vader, I'm not seeing it.
I'm not sure. I don't know about Uncle Phil. I don't
know about that. But no, that was my impression, is that like it's not that I enjoyed that performance, but at the same time I'm just like there's something missing about this. But then it's like on the other hand, like you watch the play performance with Denzel and it's just like they react as if like they're at a Medea like play, and it's just like it's not right.
Yeah, I feel how I feel. I said what I said. That's all I gotta say. That's all I gotta say. I've already told you everything.
You had
I had
a great in-depth nuance.
Yo, I gave you everything I needed to tell you.
Like your analysis was great. I'm just letting you know what my little peon analysis.
No, and I appreciate it. To be honest, I actually it really makes sense, and like it does. It makes a lot of sense. But
weird enough, I still connected with Denzel's more because Denzel's was the same as it was in the movie. Like I just tuned out. I just tuned out the audience though when I watched it because I watched it twice.
It's not like it's just because they're laughing at him doesn't mean you have to.
They don't know what the fuck they're talking about. They don't know what they're doing. But like
they just see Denzel cursing out a kid, and and
they think
that was the nigga from Training Day.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Denzel! Yeah, you killing that shit.
Yeah, it's like it's horrible.
Like, it's okay.
I would not want to go see that play.
Don't say that.
No, not if Denzel's there and then everybody gonna act a fool. I don't want to do that. How the fuck am I supposed to enjoy fences? Get out of here.
Oh my God!
I think Viola Davis was in that play too.
Was she? Oh, thank God!
Yeah, like that's crazy. Like all of them were.
She's so amazing. She's the most amazing part of the film.
The son from the movie is not in that play though, so it's like it's weird. But like I don't know. I watched Denzel in that movie, and like the only scene I don't like of him in that movie is the one where he's like shouting out the window in the rain. Like it's just ridiculous. It's stupid to me. Like
I forgot about that, to be honest. I blocked that out of my memory.
He's bragging, like he's like not bragging, but he's like telling God how like if you come get me, you better come get me. And then like the next scene he's dead. Like he's like it's like, well, I guess he came and got you.
He got you.
Don't start no shit, won't be no shit.
Yeah, next time, Troy.
God looking down like, really? Come, Troy, please don't test me.
Didn't
Troy,
Viola win for that role?
I don't remember, but I feel like
think
she should
did.
win for most of them. So like
any role that
like she said, like, oh, she was in something. Oh, okay. We didn't know what to give you this year. By what? Oh, it was only 2 minutes. Yeah, she's like, no, it was only 2. I wasn't.
You ever see that?
Well, we can't not. So
you ever see that movie Beautiful Creatures about the white witches? And there was like, and Jeremy Irons, and they're like a witch, but like one witch is like gonna be a witch, but like she's like turning like when the moon hits or some shit.
No, I haven't. Let me go check it out.
So surprised. She's in that movie. Like she's in that movie for like literally 2 minutes. That's what.
All right, so let's figure out what award we got to give her. But yeah, we'll figure that out later.
I feel like any movie where Viola Davis has to have snot come out her nose, she needs the Oscar. Like,
yo, fair statement, valid statement, because that woman be. Oh God, valid statement.
She puts everything. I don't know how.
Valid statement.
How are you such a good actress that not only do you produce like tears, but you produce snot?
Because like, when you psychosomatically get there, things just happen.
How do you produce snot? Like, what is?
No, your body naturally does things. Like it's a psychosomatic thing. It's a legit acting technique.
So what you're telling me is when she cries in real life, she just snots.
Well, I don't know if that's the case because it depends on who she is, but depending on what she's feeling for the character, you'll bring up whatever you can and what you get on stage or on screen. But I'm saying if it's psychosomatic,
that means that's her body's natural reaction.
No. I didn't mean it in that sense. How Viola Davis actually cries is her business that I'm not actually aware of. We can assume it might be close to the character she plays. Those are the closest things to her. It could make sense, but I couldn't be valid about that. But that could be how she cries, which is why she's able to pull that up in the first place. But I can't like necessarily validate that. But like in terms of the character she's playing, all she has to do, even if she doesn't cry to that degree, is just remember times where she's cried, which is close enough to that, and be like, oh, what's this character feeling? Oh, I got that. Let me just amplify this times like 10.
She's so good in Fences. Like all that shouting and crying and snotting, she do
everything.
I was playing here with you. I was like, oh my
Logan,
God.
She's good in everything. Like everything. There hasn't been a single role she's played that she hasn't been good in. The fact she hasn't been awarded, the fact she wasn't getting paid what she deserved is honestly ridiculous and people should be slapped. Backhanded, mind you.
Remember when she played James Brown Mama?
I didn't know she even did that.
Yeah, that was
so for me. Well, you gotta understand. For me, I can't pretend like it's a lot. So for me, it's Wife and Fences. What's her name? Peaks in How to Get Away with Murder, which she like destroys. Amanda Waller in Suicide Squad.
That's one of her least roles. Like,
yeah, exactly. But she does that.
She's still pretty good in that though. In Suicide Squad,
everything I've seen, she just don't miss. Yeah, but that's just me. So yeah, give her the awards. Angela, give her the awards.
DC,
Carrie, give her the awards. Yeah, I know.
They like that. They just, I don't understand that over there. Anyway, let's get out of here.
Yeah.
Woo. Mitch, do you have anything you want to leave the people with?
Shit. Yeah, actually. Well, I've been drinking. Remember gym etiquette. America, look at your country. Look at the world around you. Trans issues and issues and issue in general. We gotta figure that out. Like we gotta shit. We gotta figure that out. Fuck. But we need to figure that out. And otherwise, enjoy your night.
Thank you for that, Mitch.
I try.
First off, I'd like to say, because this show comes out this week here, which is also the same week as Sarah's birthday, so I'd like to say happy birthday, Sarah.
Oh, happy birthday.
Yeah.
Happy birthday to you.
Woo.
Happy birthday to you.
Whee.
Happy birthday, dear Sarah.
Happy birthday to you.
All right, that was nice. I'd also like to say, I don't really have a whole lot to wrap up with. Yeah, I think I said everything I wanted to say this episode. So, if you like the show, share the show. Especially if you like the show, doubly share it. And like, I have to say that next week there is no show. Next week we're going on vacation. Yep. So, enjoy this week's show, and then if you don't have a show to listen to next week, we have like 55 episodes out now, and so you can just go back and listen to from the beginning, listen to all the horrible audios that we recorded before, but was full of really great content either way. Oh yeah, like us, share us, give reviews about the show. And if you ever wanted to actually like reach out and contact the show, reach out to us at what is it? The Milk and Toast or Milk and Toast? The Milk and Toast at gmail.com.
Go ahead.
That's
The Milk and Toast at
gmail.com. That's how do I even like spell it so you guys can know?
Isn't it THEMILKN or is it AND?
It's, you would think it's N, but it's THEMILKAND toast at gmail.com. So see, that's why I had to look it up. But yeah, if you ever wanted to send us anything, that's not like a virus from my computer, then go ahead.
Please don't send the viruses. You goddamn hackers. Go scam some goddamn fuck.
Yeah, if you're a hacker, just like fix our student
we're not
loans.
The fucking Pentagon. The fuck,
come on. Anyways, that's all I got for today. Say bye to the people, Mitch.
Bye.
This has been episode 55 of the Milk and Toast podcast. I'm your host, Logan, and we're out. Bye.